Uh, Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to She Ignored the Warning Siren by MrBallen. Now I've watched his videos, they're awesome. I love his story videos and everything. I feel like he's one of, if not the best, storytelling YouTubers out there, in my honest opinion. This guy really, I love how detailed he is in all his stories and everything. He explains every single detail right to the bone, you know what I mean? And that's what I really like about him. Um, but yeah, check out his channel, go to his channel, show him some love and support, watch his videos, like and subscribe to his channel. He's awesome, guys. Show him some love. He really deserves it because he puts in a lot of effort into his videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch this video. She ignored the warning siren by MrBallen. Let's go. Stick around to the very end of the
In 2017, a group of 7 friends were wandering through this forest in New Zealand trying to get to this secret swimming spot. And as they're walking along this dirt trail far away from the road and there's no one near them, they suddenly hear this high-pitched, shrill siren sound coming from somewhere off in the forest. And so the group stops, they're listening to the siren, and eventually, after about 30 seconds, the siren stops. And at that point, these 7 friends begin exchanging very curious looks about what they just heard, but ultimately, they shrug it off and just keep on walking. Little did they know, that siren was trying to tell them to turn around and go the other way. But before we get into that story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So, if that's of interest to you, please send the like button a beautifully wrapped gift for their birthday, but fill the gift with a spring-loaded boxing glove that punches them right in the face when they open it. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's story.
I love his intro music.
On the morning of Monday, February 6th, 2017, a group of 7 friends who were all college-aged and living in New Zealand began packing up their cars and getting ready to drive back to Auckland, the biggest city in New Zealand. The night before, the group had been out on Lake Tikitapu for a big concert called Flocella, where audience members would listen to the music while floating around on big blow-up rafts and floats. After the concert had ended, the group of friends had left the lake and headed to a nearby relative's house where they had a quiet after-party with a couple of drinks, and then everyone went to bed a little bit after midnight. This morning, the group had gotten up early because they wanted to get on the road as soon as possible to try to beat the holiday traffic that was sure to crop up that day on the way back to Auckland. February 6th is a big national holiday in New Zealand. It's called Waitangi Day, and it's to commemorate the initial signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, which is considered to be the founding document of the country. But right as the 7 friends had finished packing up their 3 cars and were getting ready to begin their 3-hour drive north to Auckland, one of the friends, a 21-year-old named Rachel De Jong, suggested they take a quick detour before they head back home. Rachel, along with another girl in this group of friends named Maddie, had several months earlier discovered this secret swimming spot that was located only about 15 minutes away from where they were now, and it happened to be on the way back to Auckland. This swimming spot was this beautiful green blue pool of fairly deep water that was located in the middle of a forest. This pool was actually a part of the Waikato River. However, this stretch of the river where the pool was either very shallow or dry most of the time. So as a result, this pool actually looked like a standalone body of water. While there was no official trail that led through the forest to this pool of water, there was an unofficial trail. It was basically a dirt trail that cut through the woods that had formed over the years of locals tromping their way to this pool of water.
Right.
After hearing Rachel's suggestion, the group of friends all agreed that this sounded like a great idea. And so the group piled into their 3 cars, and then by around 11:40 a.m., Rachel and Maddie had directed the convoy all the way to the start of this unofficial dirt trail, which was located right on the side of a winding main road. After pulling their cars safely off to the side of the road, the group got out, and then Rachel and Maddie led them to the start of this trail, and they began walking through the forest. 15 minutes later, at 11:55 a.m., the group was getting very close to the water because the trees up ahead were starting to thin out. But also at 11:55 a.m., the group suddenly stopped because from somewhere out in the forest, way off in front of them, came this loud, shrill siren sound. And it went on for nearly 20 or 30 seconds, and then it just came to a stop. And the group kind of
Oh,
looked around at each other. No one knew what to.
okay. If you're out in the middle of the forest with your friends and hear that siren, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you going to do? If you hear that siren, what is your initial thought and what is like your response to that? Like, if I was with my friends and I all of a sudden heard that siren in the middle of a forest, right? I I would be very suspicious about it, but I don't know if I would trust it though. Like it's hard. It's a hard decision, honestly. But if it's a siren that sounds like it's trying to warn someone or warn people, I'd say listen to it. But if it's like some sort of siren that's like some, I don't know, that doesn't give up like a warning vibe or it doesn't tell you like to, leave the premises of the location you're in or something. But I, what do you do? You know?
Make of the siren, and so eventually they just kind of shrugged it off and kept on walking. Within a minute of that siren sound coming to an end, the group had made it to the end of this unofficial dirt track, which placed them at the edge of this beautiful overlook down to the pool they were going to swim in. And so they began one by one climbing down the rocks in front of them, where there were some ropes that had been put up to help people climb down to the water. And so after they got down to the water, all of them stripped down to their bathing suits, they jumped into the pool, and they began swimming out towards the center of the pool, where there were these 2 big rocks that jutted up out of the water, almost like miniature islands. And so Rachel and the other women, so 5 of them, they climbed onto one of the rocks, and the 2 men who were part of this group climbed onto the other rock. And so they got
Right?
up onto these rocks and they're looking around, taking in the sights, and then at 11:58 a.m., another siren blasts across the forest. It's the same sound as the one they heard 3 minutes earlier when they were on the dirt track. And so once again, all 7 of them are kind of looking at each other wondering, what is this siren about? But after the 20 or 30.
Okay. If you heard it the second time, I think that it's time to listen to it. Cause if let's say if I heard it the first time, I wouldn't know if I should listen to it or not. But if it was the second time, I think it's time to listen to it because I feel like it's trying to tell you something or warn you something that, some sort of, animals could be in the premises or, a storm is possibly approaching and you only have like a couple of minutes um, to evacuate and find a safe space. to take shelter in. Second time's a charm.
Second long siren came to an end, they glanced around them and there was no sign of any danger. There was no sign of really anything happening at all. It was just this beautiful, peaceful seeming oasis. And so before long, they had forgotten about the siren again, and Rachel had gotten out her camera and she was taking pictures, and others were taking
Bad
pictures as
move,
well.
Rachel.
And
Bad
then
move.
2 minutes later, at 12 p.m., the siren sounded for a third time. Now, at this point, the group has heard the siren 2 other times. And even though the sound of the siren was kind of jarring because it was so high-pitched and shrill and really cut into their ears, this time, because they've heard it 2 other times and nothing happened, they all pretty much immediately wrote it off. So the siren's sounding for the 3rd time, and the group is not really paying attention. But when the siren finally stops this 3rd time, something very different began to happen, and the group immediately noticed it. Now, I know everyone has a lot to do to prepare for International Pet and Electric Eel Day. From the eel cigarettes to lure the slippery, cuddly little creatures out of the murky deep, to the mega-sized pack of ace bandages you'll need for post-shock wound care, there's a lot you need to enjoy this holiday. But what always happens when you fire up your wood-fired laptop and begin looking for these items? You get hit with a pua! Bah! 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 But don't worry, you can get back to doing what you love, petting electrically charged animals in the name of tradition, if you just use NordVPN. A VPN, or virtual private network, is a service that keeps you safe when you browse the internet. And NordVPN is the brand name in the VPN space. Not only will NordVPN ensure that all of your data stays safely behind their wall of next-generation encryption, but also, most importantly, through their latest feature called Threat Protection, they will automatically block all those disgusting puas that keep disrupting your ability to purchase all of your various eel petting supplies. So, you can either sit on the sidelines this year while your family frolics about in the murky pools and calm stretches of the middle and lower Amazon and Orinoco river basins in South America petting truckloads of electric eels, or you can get NordVPN, and before long, you'll be up to your nostrils in cuddly electric eels looking for a good pet. Currently, the best deal for NordVPN is through my YouTube offer. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus 4 additional months for free when you go to nordvpn.com/MrBallen. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/MrBallen, or click the link in the description. Okay, back to the story. When the 3rd siren came to a stop, the friends started to hear a new sound, and it was coming from the same direction the siren had been coming from,
Oh, no.
which in effect was upstream. Even though this river was basically dry, they could turn and look uphill, and they could clearly see where the river would go if it was full. And so the friends turn and look upstream, and they're listening to this really loud kind of smashing sound that's coming from that direction, and they're exchanging curious looks at each other, trying to figure out what that sound could be, and then
Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be either a storm, right? Or a tsunami that's heading towards them. Because if there's like crashing noises and everything, I think it would have to be like a storm or some sort of tsunami that's occurring and around their area, and it's gonna come towards them. But let's see what it is, because I'm actually curious to know what it is.
all of a sudden, they see it. A white wall of water comes crashing around the corner and began barreling straight down the riverbed towards them. By the time the friends had even processed what they were seeing, the water had reached the pool they were in, and it was flooding the pool so quickly they could literally see this huge pool rising. Its water levels were going up and up and up all around them. And so as the rocks they're standing on began to slowly submerge under all this rising water, the group collectively decided that this can't go on for very long. Whatever whatever this is, it's gonna stop, so just stay put, stay on these rocks, we're gonna be okay. However, within seconds, the rocks they were
Ugh. What do you do in that situation? You're standing on rocks while a huge body of water, mind you, is approaching you or like is surrounding you, right? Uh, I would be having an anxiety attack, bro. Like, I kid you not. My anxiety would go through the roof instantly.
on were completely submerged, and the water was still tumbling down the hill towards their pool and then spilling out over the other side down the other end of the riverbed. And they're thinking to themselves, if we don't get off these rocks soon, we're going to get swept downstream with this water. And so the two men who were on their own rock, they leapt to a rocky outcropping that was slightly higher up and was connected back up to the forest. And so this rocky outcropping represented safety. And so once they were up there, they turned around and they yelled to the five women still stranded on their rock to try to swim over to them, and the guys would grab them and pull them to safety. But by this point, the girls are looking around, the water's up to their knees, and it's rushing past them. They can barely keep their balance. They know if they attempt to swim in this water, they're going to immediately be taken downstream with it. And so the group very quickly decides their only choice is for the women to literally jump and grab the men who have their arms outstretched for them. And so Rachel DeJong, she was
Oh.
the first one to try this. She leaps.
Wait. Hold up. Let me
It's for the women.
look at the distance between them. If they were to jump, uh, they would not make it. There's no way in hell you are going to make that jump. That jump is very far. I wouldn't have made it if I were to try jumping. I would have been swept away by of that water. I would have drowned. I would have died. I don't know how to swim. I would have been a goner. And look at the distance between the guys and them. I, uh, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
To literally jump and grab the men who have their arms outstretched for them. And so Rachel DeJong, she was the first one to try this. She leaps off the rock, she grabs the guy's arms, and she gets pulled to safety. And then she turns around, and she and the other two men continue to get the women to jump off the rock to them. And at first, it's going fairly well until they get down to the second to last woman who leaps. She grabs one of the guy's arms, and then both of them lose their footing, and the guy and the woman, they both get swept away downstream. They're gone. Rachel stays calm, and she moves to the position where the guy had been who just got swept away, and she takes out her GoPro camera selfie stick and she extends it out to the last woman who's out on the rock. Her name is Alice, and she tells
Wait, why are you going to pull out your selfie stick and your phone to record in a situation like this? Who does that? Ugh, I'm sorry, but that's just so dumb.
Alice, jump and grab the selfie stick. And so Alice, who's almost completely submerged in water now,
Hold up.
a selfie stick, and she extends it out to the last woman who's out on the rock. Her name is Alice, and she
Oh, okay. That was my bad. Okay. Disregard my last comment. I'm sorry. I thought he was about to say that she was about to like, hit that record or something, but like no, it was to help, but still, like how is that going to help? A selfie stick, extending the selfie stick to help, you know, um help one of the women reach over and like pull them to safety. I don't think a selfie stick is gonna work. I think a selfie stick is it's either gonna break off or like your hand is gonna slip from the selfie stick getting wet from all the water that's like um going up and everything. I don't know.
Tells Alice, jump and grab the selfie stick. And so Alice, who's almost completely submerged in water now, makes this frantic jump to grab onto the selfie stick. She grabs it for a second, but then loses her grip and she begins being swept away. And Rachel, who at this point was completely safe, immediately jumped into the rapids after Alice. She grabbed Alice, she attempted to turn around and grab the rock to stop them, but she couldn't get a grip. And she and Alice were also swept downstream out of view. 2 weeks before Rachel, Maddie, Alice, and the others had gone to this secret swimming spot,
Oh, Jesus. Oh my goodness. So they're gone. Like, oh my goodness. Uh, man.
a warning sign, like a physical warning sign that warned people not to go near this river, don't go near this pool, was stolen. And that warning sign was normally placed at the very beginning of that unofficial dirt track that the seven friends took to get to the pool. Meaning, when the seven friends got out of their cars and began hiking into the forest to go to this pool, they would not have understood the danger of where they were going. Now, it is true that Rachel and Maddie had previously discovered this swim spot several months earlier. However, it seems like they had just learned that this swim spot existed and how to get to it. It did not seem like they had literally walked this trail and gotten to the pool, and so very likely they would not have known about the dangers this place posed. The pool of water they were swimming in was not actually dangerous itself. It was only dangerous because the pool was located in the middle of a spill zone. About 650 feet upstream of the pool they were swimming in is a dam, and 3 to 4 times a day, they open their gates, releasing 20,000 gallons of water per second down this mostly dry riverbed, and the water comes careening across that pool all the way to the bottom. The gates stay open for about 15 minutes, and the only reason this is done is for the spectacle of it. It's to show tourists what this riverbed looked like before the dam was built. And what this riverbed looked like before the dam was built was a raging rapid. On February 6th, 2017, the dam was set to spill at 12 p.m. So those sirens the friends heard at 11:55, 11:58, and then 12 were all warnings that a spill was about to occur. But of course, the seven friends had no idea. After the 12 p.m. spill had finally ended, the 3 friends who had made it to the rocky outcropping and had not been swept away by the current went looking for the 4 other friends who had been swept away, and they would find them. 3 had miraculously survived, but 1 had not. The sole fatality was 21-year-old Rachel DeJong.
Okay, so well, 3 of them survived, but only one of them died. But oh my goodness, that is like a miracle, to survive something like that. That is legit God telling you, like, I got your back. Ah, gotta count your blessings.
Whose idea it was to come and swim at this spot in the first place. Rachel also was the woman who had left safety and jumped back into the rapids to attempt to save her friend Alice. Today, there are many more warning signs and fences that have been put up around the Waikato River to prevent people from getting too close, because the dam still, despite the fatality, spills several times a day. However, despite all these precautions and all the notoriety around Rachel's death, people still today sneak in and go swimming in that secret pool.
You gotta be kidding me, right? People out here really sneaking into a dangerous swimming site even after this situation occurs? I mean, uh,
So that's going to do it. If you got something out of this episode and you haven't done this already, please send the like button a beautifully wrapped gift for their birthday, but fill the gift with a spring-loaded boxing glove that punches them in the face as soon as they open it. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. We now have a podcast called the MrBallen Podcast that puts out brand new podcast exclusive stories on Monday mornings and remastered versions of our
be
best
sure to
YouTube
check out his
videos on Thursday
podcasts
mornings.
on
This podcast is going to be
Amazon
exclusive
Music and
to Amazon
Spotify.
Music starting November 1st of this year. But as of right now, it is still available on all podcast platforms everywhere.
Yeah, go
We
check
now
out his
have a
podcast.
registered
and everything.
501c3 charitable organization called the MrBallen Foundation that makes it as easy as possible for you to join me, my family, and my team in supporting those whose lives have been most impacted by violent and heinous crimes. Monthly donors to the MrBallen Foundation Honor Them Society will receive free gifts and exclusive invites to special live events. But the real reward is helping to rewrite the ending to the story for victims of violent crime. Go to MrBallen.Foundation and click Get Involved to join the Honor Them Society today. We also have 2 additional YouTube channels. One is called MrBallen Shorts, the other is called MrBallen en Español. We also put out near daily content on Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok. Those are all just called MrBallen. If you want to get in touch with me, please follow me on any major social media platform and then send me a direct message. My username is just @MrBallen, and I really do read the majority of my DMs. We also have some really cool merchandise, so head on over to shopmrballen.com to have a look. And if you have a story suggestion, please submit it to our subreddit, just called MrBallen. It's linked in the description below. So whether I see you on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, other YouTube channels, the podcast, wherever, just know that I really appreciate your support. And until next time, that's going to do it. See ya. Are you tired of having all that disgusting extra money in your wallet? Does wearing flannel at every occasion, regardless of temperature or general appropriateness, sound exciting to you? If you answered yes to both of those questions, then you've come to the right place, because just last week, we opened up our brand new MrBallen Flannel Emporium, aka shopmrballen.com. From timeless classics like flannel tuxedos and flannel eyelash extensions, to more modern takes like flannel bell-bottoms and flannel wigs, shopmrballen.com has all your flannel fashion choices covered. But don't you dare come into our emporium unless you've already slapped the like button and the 5-star review button right in the front left tooth. Failure to do so will result in you instantly being shipped off to Bell's Canyon. So, come on down to the brand new shopmrballen.com Flannel Emporium and throw away all that disgusting extra money in your wallet. But hurry up, because the shop closes in less than 2 weeks. Again, go to shopmrballen.com for all your flannel needs. Shopmrballen.com.
Oh man. This was a great video by MrBallen. You know, he makes amazing content. But wow, that one girl who didn't make it, bro. Pr- all my thoughts and prayers go out to her and her family and all her friends. Bro, that sucks. Like honestly, and and to all the people who still go out and like go to that spot where they went and they, had to suffer all of that trauma, like traumatizing events. I don't know what you guys are doing, but like, wow, like this. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this video. Go check out his channel. I'm gonna link the original video, and I'm also gonna link all of his, social medias as well in the description down below. Go check him out. Go check out his go follow him on, all of his social media and everything. This guy really is amazing when it comes to, creating scary content, like scary story content. He really puts in a lot of details into his stories, and he he's awesome. Go go show him some love and support. But yeah, guys, if you love my reaction, be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more, share my videos, turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss any single upload I do. I do reactions, I do gaming on this channel. So yeah, don't miss out on that. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.